Hey guys, MCU Collector here with another figure review. Next up is the Hasbro Marvel Legends series, the Infinity Saga's 2023 wave. Here we have from the very first Iron Man movie, Iron Man Mark II. So this is basically just a repaint of the Iron Man Mark III, which in the movie, the Iron Man 3 was just a painted version of the Iron Man Mark II. So it makes sense. Now, we did get once upon a time a Mark II figure, kinda, sorta, but it was in a Marvel, a Iron Man movie series line, which wasn't exactly Marvel Legends. Some of them they were kind of in scale at the time, but not really. They were a little undersized. So we did get a Mark II thing. So now I'll be able to toss this thing because it's absolute shit. But it represented Iron Man Mark II in my MCU display. So it was cool at the time. You know, fully articulated, just like any Legends figure would be. They're just, you know, very severely underscaled. So it's cool that we get the Iron Man Mark II. It makes sense to be just a repaint of the Iron Man Mark III. It's the same suit. So it's pretty cool that, you know, we have like a full-on official version of it now. So it works. So unlike the other ones that are all kind of repaints of something that we already got, technically we did not have an Iron Man Mark II, but it is, yes, a repaint. So looking at it, pretty happy with it, actually. But anyway, I got my set from toysnowman.com, so link in the video description below. It's my referral link. Use that link, create your account, get a 5% off coupon code for your first, you know, for your first order, all that good stuff. But Toy Snowman, they're based in Canada. Awesome one-stop shop collectibles for all your action figure needs. So whether it's Hasbro stuff, you know, all the domestic things, or import stuff like Mafex, all of that, you can get them at toysnowman.com. So make sure to check them out. Link in the video description below. Let's get to the figure. The Iron Man logo up at the top there. We got the same artwork on all the Infinity Saga stuff. Looking at the back, we get a bio that reads, after escaping capture overseas, intrepid inventor Tony Stark built the Mark II armor, a sleek, nearly invincible suit equipped with powerful repulsor blast and boot boosters for flight. So there we go. Let's get it out of the box. Okay, so here's the Iron Man figure out of the package. It's basically everything the Iron Man Mark III figure was. So no surprises or anything there. One thing that I don't remember from the Mark III, and I haven't verified this, but I can't imagine they would do this. These repulsor blasts do not work with the hands. There's no peg hole in for the hands. They're just sculpted like that. These are actually specifically for the boots. I guess that's why the box had mentioned the boot repulsors for flight. Because, you know, you're going to use these for flight. So you can have the head kind of go out, and you can have him like in flight poses kind of thing there. So nothing new, just exactly kind of what to expect from the Iron Man Mark III. There is some added paint in some areas because essentially the whole thing is silver. So whereas the red and gold version, you know, it was red, obviously, and then we had gold paint added in there. This guy doesn't have color to it. It's all just the silver, but they painted on like rivets and screws and things like that. So at least there's something to the figure. But, you know, not a whole lot either way going on. But it does look pretty good. And you can actually, it can kind of work two ways. You can have this as your Tony Stark from the first Iron Man movie, or you can have it as Rhodey from Iron Man 2. Because, you know, at that fight scene, Iron Man at that party, you know, Rhodes puts on the suit and he takes off with it so they can make the War Machine suit. So this could be a Rhodes figure for Iron Man 2 if you wanted it to be. Okay, looking up close, this is the full helmeted head sculpt there. Nothing to it. It is all silver. There's a little bit of white for the lenses. The repulsor, the arc reactor, I mean, you could see there a little bit of light blue paint kind of around white to kind of give it a glow effect. And then there's just like these rivets kind of everywhere, screws. I don't think they were that prominent in the movie, but they kind of did it throughout, like here on the legs, on the arms a little bit, but this upper torso piece gets a lot of it. I don't mind it. I think it's a little distracting how much there is on the upper torso. Like the arms and the legs, it's not so bad, but man, the torso gets a lot of it. It's just weird because we don't get any in this center portion here. Now, it just makes it look off because it's all smooth and everything and nothing up here. It's a very metallic silver kind of here in the torso, more so than you see anywhere else. So I feel like you get some of the marbleization in there, right? Those are kind of the fill lines. We don't see it so much throughout the rest of the figure. It's just kind of that mid-torso that we get that. Lots of sculpted detail to the figure. there. Let's go ahead and pop the head off and look at the open faceplate. Okay, so there is the Robert Downey Jr. Tony Stark face, actually with the open faceplate. I'm having a hard time getting this figure to stand sometimes. And it looks pretty good. It's the same one that we had gotten with the Mark III. I think this one looks better because it has more of a matte finish, whereas this one kind of looked a little bit shiny, especially in the facial hair. This one, I think the skin tone looks a little bit better, looks a little bit more realistic. The digital face print came out a little bit better, especially in the facial hair. You can see it's just kind of, it doesn't look like just a thick brown line there. It actually looks like a real mustache. So that came out looking pretty good. I like the faceplate version, but for this one, because I have this one displayed with the faceplate up, I will have this one, which is kind of with the masked head sculpt. Okay, so the articulation for the Mark II Iron Man figure. So unfortunately, you can't get him to look up too much. So flight poses are a little bit tricky. Getting him to look down is a lot easier. It's just because of this back neck piece comes up so high. It just really prevents you from being able to get that head to go back. So unfortunately, it's only that much. You get a full rotation in there. There's actually some pivot that you can do in there, as you can see there. You got these shoulder pads that kind of are keyed into the torso there, so they're not going to get in the way when you want to get the arm to go straight on out like so. Full rotation in there, and the shoulder pad is keyed in there to be able to move with it freely. Upper bicep swivel, double jointed elbow. It is pinless, so pinless there. Get that much bend. Wrist swivel. These hands that are straight out there have no hinge to them, unfortunately. The fists do have a hinge, so pop the fist on there. Standard horizontal hinge on there, but it sticks so far into the wrist that the hinge is virtually ineffective. As you can see, I hinged it that much, and that's really all that you can get out of there. We got the diaphragm cut on Iron Man, so he can actually tilt to his left that much. He can tilt to his right that much. That is actually pretty good range of motion. Going back is only a little bit. Big ass metal suit. He's not going to be able to move around too much. Coming forward is that much. That's more than most female figures, so we have that there. You do get a little bit of a swivel on the Iron Man figure, but again, a guy in a big ass metal suit, he's not actually going to be able to twist around a whole lot in there. So there's only some. It's just really not a lot. Legs go out that far apart. He can't kick forward that far, which is good. The leg actually goes back quite a bit there. You got an upper thigh cut in there. A double jointed half pinless knee. There is a pin up at the top. There is not a pin on the lower knee, so I don't know what the situation was that, half of it was there. So, but that much bend there at the knee. The foot is a little bit of a problem. You can't really hinge it down. You can a little bit, and this back piece kind of will kind of push in with it. But it's pretty limited. Going up is really hardly anything at all. Ankle pivot is there, but it's not effective because you have these pieces here that come down and hang over it. So it's kind of tough in there. I think there is somewhat of a swivel on that ankle in there, as you could see there. But again, these side pieces just really get in the way. You do have peg holes at the bottom of the feet as well. So pretty good articulation. It's the exact same as the Mark III. So again, if you have that figure, nothing new here. And the full side-by-side, so you can see they're the same exact figure. Again, just slightly different paint apps here. Whereas we had the gold that was added in, a couple of black spots here on the upper torso. We just get rivets on this one. Other than that, it is the same exact figure, as you can see there. So Iron Man Mark II, Iron Man Mark III. Okay, and there is the Infinity Saga wave all together, looking pretty good. I think the Black Widow was one of the more sought-after figures, the Bruce Banner too, but this Iron Man Mark II is technically one that we have not gotten before. Yes, it's a repaint of the Iron Man 3. Yes, but it's a new version, a different suit technically, right? So it's a new added character, quote-unquote character, that you can add to your collection or add to your Hall of Armor or kind of however you want to do it. So I definitely think this is one that is going to be a good pickup. But you guys let me know your thoughts on that down in the comments below. What do you think of the Iron Man figure? What do you think of the Infinity Saga wave so far? I'm curious. Let me know. If you guys like this video, please do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. Hit that join button to become a channel member and be a part of the MCU collective and show support for the channel. I greatly appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. And as always, thank you for watching.